everyone, welcome back to Clutch Situation, and today we are celebrating 4,000 subscribers. Yay! I'm really pleased that people are getting something out of the channel. Those of you who have been here for a while know that this is kind of an outlet for me to explore my hobbies and talk about some of the things that interest me about everyday carry, particularly mechanical pencils. But for this 4,000 subscribers video to celebrate, I'm going to do some things to try to hit every crowd, if at all possible. And so I wanted to start everybody off with an update on the fountain pen situation. In one of my recent videos, I posted a video about filling a fountain pen, specifically with twist converters and squeeze converters, and it was my first time doing it, and I made kind of a mess. And so since then I had picked up an ink syringe. This one is from Jet Pens, super cheap on Jet Pens, like $2.50, as well as some pencils to review in the future. And I needed quite recently, while I was grading some essays and giving feedback on essays, to refill one of my pens. And so I busted out the syringe, and I'll just show you my hands. This was yesterday, by the way. Nothing. Okay. Now I know some of you might be disappointed that I didn't get ink all over my hands. We've already had the rite of passage, but I wanted to thank everybody in the audience who are fountain pen enthusiasts for giving me the tip of the ink syringe. I took your advice, and it worked out really well. Okay, now, recently there is also someone who had asked about EDC. Oh, before I get to the EDC, let me just point out that I have been writing quite a bit with the Pilot Metropolitan, and so let's sort of get a running list here. Okay, so not only did I start using the ink syringe, but I've been using the Pilot Metropolitan more, and even though it is a weightier fountain pen, I've found it very enjoyable to use. It's really well constructed. I wanted to thank David again for sending that to me, and so I wanted to give you an update on how the Pilot Metropolitan was going. I've been using both that and the Platinum fountain pen that I have. And so thanks again, David, for sending that to me through the mail. Now let's get to the second thing. This is something that I've never done before. And that is, I wanted to do something for the EDC crowd that someone in the audience had requested, doing something for EDC. And this is a video that I've actually never seen before. Well, a video concept that I've actually never seen before that I thought might be interested. And, you know, we talk about things for our everyday carry, like what pen or pencil do you have? Some people carry a knife on them. I'm a teacher, so obviously I can't do that. And so you're never going to see that featured on because I don't carry a knife around with me. I do have a watch, though, my Casio F91W, which is a very cheap but highly reliable, very simple digital watch that I wear. Because I try to model not having my phone on me at school so kids see that I'm focused on my job and that we want them to be focusing on learning. Well, I do carry keys with me, and I'm not going to show you the physical keys out of the possibility that somebody could copy them online, but I did want to show you the keychains that are present on my keys because, you know, that's part of our everyday carry. Everybody has, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have keychains that they have, and so I thought that I would show you the keychains that I have present on my home keys and my work keys so that you could sort of see what is part of my everyday carry in that regard. And these are shiny objects, so I'm going to try to get them to show up in the video. Maybe I just need to have it closer to my light source here. So on my work keys, I have a single keychain that I got in 2014 when my wife and I went to Scotland. And so here I have my Scotland keychain. I do tend to collect keychains and rotate them in and out of my keys. And so from an everyday carry standpoint, I think that that definitely qualifies as EDC because, you know, it's something that we carry with ourselves every day and we have preferences for. And so here's my Scotland keychain. I tend to like really durable metal keychains. So you're going to see a theme here for my keychains. So we have a Scotland keychain. We had a fabulous time while we were in Scotland. That's my work keys. My home keys, which are kind of monstrous because they include car keys as well, have two keychains. And I'll try to do them here one at a time without showing the makeup of the keys so nobody can copy anything. So my first keychain is, I love Washington, D.C. I've been fortunate enough to go to Washington, D.C. a couple times over the last 10 years. Once, actually to visit the White House. I was part of a group of teachers who visited the White House in 2010. And then in 2016, I went back for representative assembly for the National Education Association. Maybe it was 2015, somewhere around there. And my favorite memorial on the mall is by far the FDR Memorial. I admire FDR a lot. Obviously, he didn't get everything right, but he did a lot of good for this country. And the FDR Memorial is a very natural memorial. If you can get to D.C., I can switch around here so you can read the back. Okay, in case you wanted to pause the video and read the back of the keychain. Let's see if I can focus. Okay, so I carry this little reminder of the FDR Memorial with me everywhere I go, because FDR is my favorite president, and it's a very natural memorial. It's a very peaceful memorial, and that's the main reason why I like the FDR Memorial. And then the other keychain that I have, sometimes I have more than one keychain because I kind of have monstrous keys. My other keychain is over winter break, my wife and I went to Arizona, and we went to the meteor crater site. That is controlled by the Behringer family. It's actually privately controlled. A big common misconception for it is not a national monument or anything. It's in private hands. The back doesn't have any writing on it. It's just a metal back. But I'm a science teacher, and I greatly love geology, and so I got a meteor crater keychain, solid metal, really strong. I've had this attached to my keys for months and months and months now, and it's not going anywhere. I definitely prefer keychains that are much more solid. And somewhere around here in the recreation space where I shoot my videos, I have a collection of keychains that I switch in and out. I'm honestly not quite sure where they are right now, but let's get our list going. So we had FDR keychain and meteor crater keychain and Scotland keychain. All right, let's continue the journey for 4,000 subs. Thanks everybody for watching. Okay, so now to the main event. Dun da 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 dun 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 dun. It's a mechanical pencil review. Shocking, I know. And today I'm going to be reviewing the Platinum Pro Use 171 mechanical pencil. Arguably the most innovative mechanical pencil that I've seen come out of a manufacturer over the last 10 years or so. I'm not trying to make a wild claim, and I'm not trying to oversell something. I really think that the Pro Use 171 is a unique product that we haven't seen in the mechanical pencil world for quite some time. And it does things differently than a lot of mechanical pencils do, in a way that I think sets it up to be a huge contender to solve some of the problems with that a lot of people have with certain mechanical pencils, particularly drafting mechanical pencils. I've been using them now for a couple months. I really wanted to use them for quite some time before I reviewed them so that I could make sure that I really got a good sense of what was going on with them. So I bought 0.3 millimeter and 0.5 millimeter, and the fact that the Pro Use 171 comes in 0.3 millimeter is huge, because there are very few mechanical pencils on the market in 0.3 millimeter that do what the Pro Use does. and I think that it's something that you all should be aware of. I do want to point out that the ProUse 171 was suggested by a viewer of the channel. I'm not going to take credit for finding it or anything, and it's been around for a while. It was released in 2017. So this isn't brand new, but I wanted to make sure that I was working with it for a while before I actually dove in and did a review of it. And so let's go ahead and set up the my usual rating scale for things, and that'll be a good opportunity for us to introduce the key interesting feature for the Platinum ProUse 171. Now you'll notice here, hey, where's the lead sleeve? This is indeed a drafting pencil. Okay, so drafting pencil, we would expect a 4mm lead sleeve. Well, to reveal the lead sleeve, you use a screw mechanism on the cone of the pencil, and that reveals the 5mm lead sleeve. And that is what is so interesting and innovative for this, and what targets a key problem with retractable mechanical pencils. And that is that wow, okay, I can do this. I'm actually pre-coffee. It's early in the morning on a Sunday, okay? A retractable mechanical pencil usually does what it does by extending the lead sleeve out of the body of the pencil. Here's a very famous pencil that a lot of you love, the Graph Gear 1000, and I particularly pulled it for this video because I think that the Platinum ProUse 171 is the answer to the Graph Gear 1000 that a lot of us have been clamoring for. Okay, you're not bad if you like the Graph Gear 1000. Okay, more power to you, but there are lots of things about the Graph Gear 1000 that I don't like, namely the grip and how the weight is distributed for it. And there is a little bit of tip wobble, not a lot, a very tiny, a minute amount of tip wobble. Most people say that they don't notice it, okay? But there is a small, noticeable amount of tip wobble. Maybe not as big as like the Rotring 800 or some other extendable or retractable, I should say, lead sleeves for mechanical pencils, but it is noticeable. And so the beauty of the Platinum ProUse 171 is that the lead sleeve is truly fixed on this pencil. It's not going anywhere. And so what you're actually doing is you're just essentially sliding this component of the pencil over the lead sleeve to protect it. Okay? And if there's any doubt in your mind that that's happening, let's just go ahead and do it here on my little grid here, and I'm going to line this up with my grid. Okay? So you see how the end of the pencil here is flush with this line on the grid. Well, watch what happens when I move the screw mechanism. Okay, I'm not moving the pencil at all. The pencil isn't going anywhere. I'm holding it firm. This lead sleeve is not extending out of the pencil. The pencil nose cone is moving out of the way to reveal it. So you truly have a fixed lead sleeve. And as a result, there is no wobble whatsoever with this thing because it's all part of the body of the pencil. Okay, so our number 3 today, the main event, is a mechanical pencil review, specifically the Platinum ProUse 171. Here it is. So that's just the first feature. Okay. Another big positive about the Platinum ProUse is nicely knurled grip. I tend to prefer a sharper knurling. This isn't the sharpest knurling that I've experienced. I would liken the knurling on this grip perhaps more to like the knurling on a Stettler pencil. Okay. It's not quite as sharp as Alvin mechanical pencils. It's definitely more grippy than the Graph Gear 1000, which has a very smooth knurling and also has these silicone nubs on it. And so that's, for me, another big selling point for the Platinum ProUse over the Graph Gear 1000. How about the weight? Well, it actually weighs more than the Graph Gear 1000. And for some of you, I can just hear you checking out, okay? Because for many of us, our big gripe about the Graph Gear 1000 is that it is so heavy. Okay, it's difficult for long writing sessions. About a year ago, I had a realization that it wasn't really raw weight alone that was my concern for a lot of mechanical pencils, because some astute viewers of the channel had pointed out that there were pencils that I was saying did not feel as heavy that were actually quantitatively the same weight as other pencils. And so it wasn't raw weight that was the issue. It was balance that the issue was for me. And my issue with the Graph Gear 1000 is that its balance point is very much in the middle, since it has an entire metal construction body pencil. And I know that makes that super durable. I get it. It also has a very hefty pocket clip up here, which contributes, I think, as part of that balance, as well as the body of the pencil. The Platinum Pro Use clocks in at a heavier weight than the Graph Gear 1000, but its balance point is closer to the end. In other words, it is a tip balanced mechanical pencil. And I'm learning that I definitely prefer that. I would rather have a top plastic body mechanical pencil with a knurled metal section down at the bottom that is balanced towards the bottom than one where the weight is spread all across. Now, the Rotring 600, the weight is also spread all across it. It's a brass construction mechanical pencil, but its overall weight is less than both of these pencils. And so that those factors together really make it an enjoyable writing experience for me. And now speaking of writing experience, let's just get that one down right now. Writing experience. Great. And there's some things that contribute to the writing experience for this. Not only is the balance spectacular for me on this one, but we also have another feature of this mechanical pencil that if you rotate the body of the pencil this way, you get a spring effect, like on the Faber-Castell TK Fine Vario has this spring effect. So for thinner lead sizes, you're less likely to break lead with that. So I can push down pretty hard. I mean, obviously the Delgard is another key example, but the Delgard has a mechanism where you can press it to the side as well. And then if you rotate the body of the pencil this way, it goes back to a hard, not unmoving lead controlled by the clutch. And so that's another fun feature for this pencil, especially for the 0.3 millimeter pencil. Now, speaking of writing experience, I just want to point out to you that my writing experience I'm rating as great, okay? But something that might be bothersome to some people is that you have to rotate this mechanism every time in order to expose the lead sleeve. But for most drafting pencils, especially for 0.3, there just is never an option to store a pencil tip up, ever. Because especially with a 0.3 millimeter lead sleeve, that thing's going to break. Okay? And so I think that perhaps for some people who like to store their mechanical pencils tip down, and there is a feature that is built into these to encourage you to do that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to show up in the light. Maybe a little bit there. On the end cap, it tells you the lead size. So we have 03 on this end cap and 05 on this end cap. They're shiny end caps. Okay, so getting a little bit of reflectivity there. But yeah, so for some of you, maybe that's a deal breaker. I don't know. It doesn't bother me because if I'm going to write for an extended session, I'm just going to extend the lead sleeve and write with it. And, you know, sometimes there have been cases where I've written a little bit, I've had to screw it back down to keep it safe, and then unscrew it to expose the lead sleeve to continue writing. But honestly, for me, that's part of the fun of my experience, and so I'm definitely going to go, for me personally, remember, these are my personal ratings with a writing experience of great. Okay, next, plastic upper construction, strong but not overstated pocket clip. And this pencil is totally pocket safe with this feature, so that's great. We have a lead hardness indicator up top here, which goes from, let's just take it off the body of the pencil because we want to show the eraser anyway. It goes from 2B through 4H. And you can, I guess you can actually set nothing there if you'd prefer not to see that. So that's an interesting feature. Mine still has the lead that it came with. Decent eraser. Okay, doesn't come with a lead jam clear, but generally platinum erasers are nice. So yeah, if we continue on down the rating scale, features, great. It's feature rich. And then for quality, I'm going to go with good plus. Okay. So the big question on this channel, of course, is, what kind of a lead sleeve, or what kind of a clutch do we have in here? I'm actually not quite sure how to take this pencil apart without breaking it to investigate the clutch. Virtually every platinum mechanical pencil that I've ever had has a brass clutch, so I would be shocked if there isn't a brass clutch in here. Okay, a good way to guess if you're not sure on a brass clutch is to do a click test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we're getting about a little bit more than one might expect with a brass clutch, maybe about 0.8 millimeters, somewhere around there. But that's still respectable. And in using this for several months, I haven't had any issues whatsoever. Cost, moderate. Okay, these were available on JetPens, sold out, pretty quickly. Weren't in stock for several months. And I actually got a notification last week, I think it was, that they had the 0.5 millimeter back in stock, and so I jumped on it. I got this 0.3 millimeter first. 0.3 millimeter for this particular mechanical pencil is a critical lead size to have because 0.3 millimeter pencils generally do not come in with retractable lead sleeves. And they usually also, I mean, unless you get a Delgard, which is an all-plastic pencil, and obviously you can get a Delgard high grade. I mean, these features are available, but all of these features combined together on a single pencil, including a retractable lead sleeve, a 4 millimeter lead sleeve, so you can see what you're doing, are not all that common on a mechanical pencil. And so I wanted to share that with you today in order to celebrate 4,000 subs. Now, this pencil is sure as heck going into the top 10. Okay, you better believe it is. Because I'm smitten with it. I think that it has a lot of the features that solve concerns that people have with small lead sizes for drafting pencils, namely the nature of the retractable sleeve, not having any lead wobble, an appropriate weighting, a nice knurling. It's all as well as that lead sponginess mechanism. I mean, it's all wrapped up into one package. The folks at Platinum, they've really been innovating with their writing utensils. I love Platinum as a corporation, and this is an example of something that is awesome that you should check out. So I hope you enjoyed our video today. I gave you an update on the Pilot Metropolitan and my use of the ink syringe, and hopefully you found it interesting to see what keychains I have on my keys for EDC. And then we got an awesome pencil that is going to be entering into the top 10 sometime this summer when I have more time to do a more involved video like that. And so thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'm glad that I've been able to reach people. I just want to share my hobby as kind of an outlet, and if I can help other people celebrate something that they enjoy, I think that's awesome. So keep doing what you do, and I'll catch you on the flip.